Hello friends. All right, we are looking at the Taylor Swift Lover's House model. And it's called the Music Album House here because it is not properly licensed. It has 558 pieces. For them, it's set number X006. But you can see what you're looking at here is the house that was featured in one of the music videos, as well as one of the large set pieces from the Eras tour. And so in this video, we're going to look at the box, we'll look at the parts, and we'll see if they're Lego compatible. We'll look at the lighting kit, and we'll look at the instructions so you know what to expect if you were to purchase this set. In a different video, I will have had build the set, and we'll look at the set separately in a different video. But this is a preview in case you are thinking about getting the set and maybe you don't want the entire set spoiled for you. This is just a preview look. All right, so this house, it represents different eras or time periods for Taylor Swift's career. And so I looked them up. I'm going to read them off. Taylor Swift fans out there, if I get this wrong, please don't kill me. And just correct me in the comments if I've gotten it wrong. All right, so my understanding is the Green Room is her debut album. That is the Music Room. And then moving over to this sort of dining room, that one represents the album Speak Now. And then the red room up here represents Red. This is supposed to be an orange, I believe, orange room, and it represents Fearless. And then up here with the kind of fishbowl style bathtub, that represents 1989. And then this pink room is Lover. And then the attic is Reputation. And then some bonus rooms. This one, I believe, is yellow and represents Evermore. And then this one here is supposed to be potentially a staircase. And if it is a staircase, then it represents Folklore. My favorite album is probably Folklore. Let me know what you think is your favorite album. There is a close up here. You can see that the parts are actually really large and overscaled here. And that's because the house itself is probably not that big. If I had to guess, once this is built, it's probably not much bigger than what you see in this picture. So it's probably maybe almost as tall as this box is what I'm guessing. All right. Okay, so then the parts, they're put into bag numbers, into step numbers. So these are bag 1, bag 2, bag 3, and bag 4. Looking at the parts, they are definitely Lego compatible, and they have printed pieces on them. So that's that window that you saw up in the attic. And they use familiar colors and familiar part designs. I don't see anything unusual here, and the colors do feel like a pretty good match for Lego's colors, you know. And I just noticed that this guitar in the orange room is pink, so that's probably why that room color sort of threw me off. I think it actually has maybe some yellow as well as orange in it, and that's probably why it's a little bit hard for me to figure out what color that room was. And you see the blues and the greens. All right, and then looking at the lighting kit real quick, it does come with this lighting kit. This is the battery box. It holds, I think it's 1 coin-sized battery, and it has a light string. And then you just pull this little isolator out, and then it's ready to go. So let's turn it on. And so what you're seeing here, it's a little hard to tell, but it has multiple colors on the same string. So this string has a length, let's say maybe 2 feet. And then as you unwind it, it has separate colored lights. And those separate color lights are supposed to be strung into specific rooms inside your model. And this string is actually quite thick in places. And so some of the feedback I read while I was investigating this set is that because of the thickness of these wires, the model may not perfectly fit or sit square. And that's what happens when you try to route wires in between bricks and then try to press those bricks down. They're never going to quite sit right, but we'll find out. We'll find out if there's workarounds. We'll see how bad it ends up being. Here's the manual, has a glossy cover, same imagery as you see on the box. And going into that manual tells you what you're building in each of the steps. And you start with bag one, which are the bottom floor rooms. And they just have you build them up. And these images are huge, actually, really large, easy to follow. So this is perfect for somebody who hasn't built sets like this very often. So if you haven't built a Lego style set, I think you're going to be fine. You will enjoy this set. I don't think it'll be too difficult as far as the instructions go. They go step by step, and there are red outlines telling you where the new parts go for each step. So that's helpful, and it tells you what part to get. Here you see it's telling you where to run that wiring. So you're supposed to run it in between these plates and then back out and then back in. So that's not an ideal way to do it. You know, as you get more advanced building sets like these, companies like Lumi Bricks have different parts that make it a little bit easier to do that kind of thing. But this is probably fine, and for the price, you know, that's a perfectly fine workaround. So now we're looking at the second floor. Yeah, so there's multiple colors per room. So you see this room, which I called I think the red room. It actually has purple in it too. And then the orange room has yellow and pink. I think that was a good choice. Oh, and this is a staircase. It's just very subtle. It's those one by ones with a bar sticking out of it, and they've just sort of turned it into a spiral staircase. And then the pink room has different shades of pink. Maybe it would have been overload if it was all identically the same color, or maybe they couldn't find everything in the same color. I'm not sure. It might have been cooler if everything was exactly the same color, sort of like these special vignettes that are all monochromatic. But this effect might be cool too, having different shades in that each room. And then it looks like here the roof is white. So maybe it's got snow on it or something like that. You can think of it. And then here's the finished product. So you can sort of tell where the battery box goes, and it snakes through these two rooms, then probably up to here and through these rooms, then up and through, and then probably ends up in the attic. That's probably how you end up routing it. So pressing down the pieces in those areas might be an issue, but probably not a deal breaker, and probably still a fun build. All right, but we'll know when I do the full build, and then I'll be able to show that off when I'm done. But I hope you found this helpful. If you liked the video, hit like, please. And if you could subscribe, that would mean a lot to me. All right, thank you very much.